Imagine spending months or even years at the gym trying to train your arms and get them bigger to impress all the ladies and everything, but you just don't seem to grow them, like they stay the same size. Well, no worries, I had that same exact problem for a long time, and there's a lot of different reasons for that. And in this video, I want to show you some of the reasons, particularly the exercises that you might be choosing. Now, we know that nutrition and sets and reps and that sort of stuff are very heavily involved, but a lot of times we don't think about the specific exercises that we're doing. We'll just hit something that, targets that muscle, which is really good, but it doesn't mean it's the best thing that you could be doing. So in this video, I want to go over 5 exercises that are way overrated and the exercises that you can do to replace them with the better exercises. And they'll give you like a percentage more muscle growth than just doing those normal exercises. And those are exercises that a lot of people do. They're probably the most common exercises that I've seen in the gym. My name is Devin Ricker. I'm a personal trainer and strength coach, and I'm here to help you with all your fitness needs. So if you do have additional questions, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try to get to every single one of them. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Our first exercise is the stereotypical dumbbell curl. This can also be done with a barbell. So both of these are good exercises. Actually, all 5 of these that I'm going to list are good exercises, but they're not the best. And I want to give you kind of exercises that are going to be way better and just way more efficient for your time. So the dumbbell curl, the reason it's not the best exercise is because you don't have any resistance at the bottom of the lift, and then it gets hard as you curl up when your arm is at about 90 degrees. That's when it's its most difficult. Now, we know from a lot of recent research that we want to grow the muscle. We want to have the most tension whenever the bicep or any muscle is at the lengthened position. Now, that's going to be when your arm is straight, and not just straight, but if you can get it behind you, that's even more lengthened. So we want to have that resistance at that point in the lift. And we know that with a dumbbell curl, you have like no resistance with the dumbbells or the barbell at the very bottom of the lift. Like I said, it doesn't get hard until you're about halfway up or so. So that's the reason why it's not one of the most efficient exercises for growing the biceps. Now, what you can do instead is lay down on an inclined bench or even a flat bench if you really want to get crazy with it, and then dumbbell curl from there. That way your arms are actually starting behind your shoulders, so you're getting a really deep stretch in those muscles. And if you've never done this before, I guarantee your muscles are going to get so freaking sore. So make sure to give these a shot. You're going to start way down there in a big stretch and then curl all the way up, a good contraction. But the reason that works so well is because, like I said earlier, you're already stretching the muscles and you have a lot of tension already in that stretched position. So try those out instead of a normal barbell or dumbbell curl. Now, exercise number 2 is the dumbbell hammer curl. Now, this is a pretty decent exercise if you're wanting to work the brachialis. That's kind of the muscle like right in here. I kind of say it's like between the bicep and the tricep. If you're super lean, you can see it. Otherwise, it's like not that big of a deal. Maybe if you're a bodybuilder, a competitive bodybuilder or something like that, it can be really beneficial to work. Or maybe if you're just wanting to work on, I don't know, pull-ups or something, it can be pretty beneficial. In terms of bicep growth and everything, dumbbell hammer curls are not the best option. And one of the reasons is because whenever you're working your bicep, you can actually see just in like an example of me just twisting my wrist. The biceps actually work primarily to twist the wrist along with curling, right? So it's really good if you can twist and curl, right? You don't want to just stay in that hammer position because you're losing out on some of the benefits of actually working that bicep. So like I said, we want to hit the bicep in the lengthened position and we want to twist it. So what I'm going to recommend instead of a dumbbell hammer curl is a preacher curl. Now you can do these with dumbbells, you can do these with a machine, whatever works best for you. I prefer dumbbells, and what that means is you're going to lay your arms on a pad, and then as you're coming up, if you have dumbbells, you can actually twist your wrist. So you can actually see the biceps are actually working even more if you twist. So make sure to try that out. Not only are you going to be having a lot of tension in that stretched position with those dumbbells, but you're also going to be able to twist the wrist on the way up and down to give a little bit of an added benefit there. All right, so exercise number 3, band curls. Band curls are something that I used to like to do all the time from home, and they're not a bad option, but they're really not that great. And the reason is, just like we said in the other 2 exercises, the bands get harder as you curl up, right? At the bottom, they're at their easiest. Like you could probably just hold a band there all day long in the stretched position. It's barely working anything. So if you are gonna do a band curl, instead of like standing on it or even having it in front of you like that, the better option is to, let's say you have them under a door, maybe you have like a door anchor with the bands, turn away from the door, have your arms stretched behind you, and then curl up. So if you had to use bands, do it that way. Now, if you don't have to use bands and you have other options like cables, that's even better. If you can do a cable curl from behind the back like that, that's even better, because with bands, like I said, they get harder towards the top of the lift. Well, with a cable, it's like the same resistance throughout. And you can do those either standing up or you can do them seated. Either one's gonna work really well. I think seated might be slightly better because you have a little bit more stability and you can focus on those biceps. All right, exercise number 4 is the dumbbell tricep kickback. I've talked about this in several other videos before. I just don't like the dumbbell tricep kickback because it's just not a great exercise. And if you have to do it, that's totally fine. It can get the job done to some degree, but like you have no tension at the bottom of the lift whenever your tricep is most stretched. All the tension's at the very top and you'll feel it burn. It feels really good. But if you're really wanting to grow those triceps, you have to have that tension at the bottom. So what you can do instead is just, instead of having your arm like this, have your arm overhead. So you can do double arm overhead tricep extensions or single arm. But the reason that that's better is that in all positions, the dumbbell has the same force going down with gravity. Whereas here, there's no tension at the bottom of the lift with the triceps. Here, you have a lot of tension right here, right here, right here, all throughout the lift. So it's a great exercise. I recommend trying that out. Exercise number 5, our last one, is the tricep pushdown. Now, don't get me wrong, this is still a good exercise and everyone does them. Everyone has done them in the gym. You're always gonna see people doing them in the gym. It's one of those exercises. If you're gonna do it, just make sure you have a really good range of motion and you're really working at the top of the lift right there. So you don't wanna just stop here at 90 like people used to say and then press down. You wanna go all the way up, get a good stretch, and all the way back down. But what's an even better exercise is gonna be cable overhead extension. So just move the cable up a little bit and have your arms overhead and extend out. It's a lot like the dumbbell overhead tricep extension, except now we have a cable, so we have even better tension throughout the lift. This actually might be one of the best exercises for your triceps. So if you've never tried it before, make sure to give that a shot. And you're gonna feel that a lot, especially in the long head of the tricep. That's the biggest one, kind of down here on the bottom. That's a really great exercise for that muscle. So I hope you learned a thing or two about overrated exercises and what to replace them with. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe and leave me a comment if you have any other fitness questions. And if you wanna know what makes a good exercise in general, check out this video right here. I'll catch you in the next video.